Hello, everyone.
There we go. Hi.
Oh, cool. 30
Greetings.
live.
We are live, yes. Happy to see all of y'all. I'm Planet Mitch.
Hey, everyone.
That's Danny.
Hi, I'm
Depending
Danny.
upon which side he's on, I don't know, Danny. We are happy to be here. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff today. One of my favorite topics.
Awesome.
It's actually something we sort of covered in one of the earlier episodes a long time ago in a land far, far away. This is like episode number
That's right.
25 or 26 or something. It's like over half a year.
Oh my goodness, that's
co-pilot shows. It is. It is a long time, and you haven't
been doing every single one of them, right?
I have only missed one.
Missed one. Oh no.
That's because you guys kicked me out.
Oh really? I didn't do anything. I wasn't on that show.
I was.
Cool. Howdy, Steve from the Foggy City by the Bay. Awesome.
We had 3 people on that show, and Mark was like, we don't need 4.
Oh.
So I actually got a week off, but I love doing these shows because I love to talk. So I'm assuming, if you guys can't hear us, you guys would be screaming and shouting in the chat room going, I can't hear. So we're going to make the assumption that you can hear us. For those of you who don't know, Danny does marketing for UpViral. I do myself.
Right. You own an agency, is that correct?
Yeah, I do. And I do training, I do masterminds, I do all kinds of stuff. And Linda Lamont is here. She's one of my members, actually. Love Linda. She's really cool. And it is confusing. I know a lot of people often say, hey, Mitch, I know you work for UpViral, and I don't. Just so you know, I'm like contracted, so I'm not a full-time UpViral employee. I am my own.
But he is the expert.
Thank you for that. All right. So, Danny, what are we going to cover today? Because this is primarily your show.
Oh, whoa. All right. Do you guys see this? Oh, you guys see this?
I see it. If I see it, everybody else can see it.
Yes, I got a huge 27.9 inch IMAX, so I hope you guys can see all the full screen. But yeah, we're going to cover finding and crafting your perfect audience. I think this is one of the most important steps that anyone can take, especially if they are, a small business owner or entrepreneur. If they just started a business, this is a super important step before any advertising or before promoting any campaigns within UpViral. So let's just jump right into it.
And if I may say, it is the thing that nobody wants to do.
Yep.
And it's the thing that people often say, I don't need to do that. I know who my peeps are. But I will say, and we'll talk about this multiple times, but every time I go through something like this with a client, they're all like, oh, that makes a big difference. So pay attention. If you're thinking this is going to be a boring, dull show, stick around. All right.
Hopefully it's not that boring.
I'll zip it.
But cool. Yeah, like Mitch mentioned, he is an agency owner. He is the expert at UpViral. I'm just the media buyer for UpViral as well as the sister software company Connect.io. I just manage most of the Facebook ads, Google ads, as well as the YouTube ads for both of these companies. But here today to talk to you about some basic but important marketing stuff. So let's jump right into it.
Well, I'm going to take one more second. I'm sorry. Yes, okay. Everybody's going to ask this question. Yes, the slides will be available at the end of the show. They will be available on the recordings. We're going to make sure y'all get them. So don't even ask.
Yep. So yeah, today's agenda, we're going to go over what the perfect audience is, why it's important, benefits, if you're running UpViral campaigns and why you should, have this perfect audience, common mistakes businesses make, what is a buyer persona, and I'm going to go through each phase 1, 2, 3 of building out your buyer persona and crafting your customer avatar. I'm going to give you an example of a customer avatar, and then just a quick summary of it. And then this is just a precursor to part 2, which I will explain more in detail on finding audiences on Facebook ads. If you plan on advertising on Facebook, I think that's this step is very important. So this is part one. Part two will be in a couple of weeks when I come back on again. So yeah, there's a lot to go over today. It was a kind of a Q&A at the very end.
I always love how you connect the pieces, Danny. So this is very foundational and helpful. See how I worked that in?
Exactly. Yeah, you worked that in brilliantly. But yeah, to build a solid foundation for your business, you must first identify your typical customer and tailor your marketing pitch accordingly. And that's basically it. I mean, I highlighted foundation because this is like the first thing you should do. Any small business owner, any entrepreneur should do before they start promoting their product. And, a lot of people just throw shit onto the wall and hope it sticks. But it's imperative in order to figure out your buyer persona before you do any marketing or promoting any UpViral campaigns. Do you agree, Mitch?
Absolutely. Cool. I preach this a lot, actually. So keep going.
Yeah, for sure. So what is a perfect audience? Let's see. Your perfect audience is your ideal group of people that you want to sell or reach. It's that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate things, but obviously I'm going to go through the phases on how to craft your buyer persona and your customer avatar. And it would just make everything a lot easier. So here are some benefits on why it's important to figure out your perfect audience. The first thing is easier advertising on all traffic sources. So advertising using Facebook, Google, UpViral, whatever it may be, will be a whole lot easier knowing how to talk to your customers and who to target. And obviously, you're going to see a lot better results because of it. Secondly, it gets you get to know who your perfect customer is. You can better seek out that perfect customer for your business rather than fighting for customers who don't even care about you. And obviously that ties into this is that you develop a common language within your audience. Buyer personas provide a common language about your buyers. It'll be difficult to sell surfing products if you don't understand how surfers talk.
Can I give you an example? I know you're going to talk a lot more about this, but I had a client recently that is selling coffee mugs, and they're actually it's like they're caricatures, and the characters stick out. It's not like just painted on the surface, so they have a 3D element to it, right? It sticks out. So all of his stuff is like, win this 3D mug, and I'm like, time out. Do your customers call it a 3D mug? And he said, no. I said, well, why are you calling it a 3D mug? Said, well, that's what we call it because it's and I'm like, no, time out. Go talk to your perfect audience and find out what they would call it because that's what they're looking for.
Yep, exactly. Let me give you an example as well. Like I used to run an agency myself. I used to work with people in the CBD industry. CBD is like a chemical of like the hemp plant that has a lot of health benefits. But obviously, not a lot of people know what CBD is, and there's CBD stores, brands popping up everywhere, and people just use the same lingo like cannabidiol and like all these big terms that endocannabinoid system. Like people don't know these things, and you have to break it down for these specific audiences in order to sell it. And obviously, you can't use these big terms because no one knows what that is. Yep. So if you can develop a common language with your audience, that's just key into selling anything, really. And you can expect, better performance, better results, better ROI, better return on ad spend if you implement all of these things within your advertising strategies. So, oops, that will change. Give it a second. There we go. And here's why it's great for your UpViral campaigns. Obviously, we're all UpViral users here, or potential UpViral users here.
Right.
Obviously, if you're running UpViral campaigns, you want to build a good email list, not just capture leads from your contest or sweepstakes, but you want actual people who are engaged with your business, people who are interested in what you have to offer, not just from the contest, but what your business has to offer as well. So anyone can sign up to UpViral campaigns and contests or sweepstakes, but having your targeted audience sign up will give you better open rates and click-through rates within your email funnel and stuff like that. So I think this is very, very important. Oops. Hopefully it doesn't change. Oh, it did. Sorry about that. Made it animated, so a little cool. Obviously, yeah, find people interested in what you're offering. If you're promoting your business, you want quality leads and engaged audiences to help promote your business. Your target audience is more likely to share your campaigns, your UpViral campaigns, with more engaged people. So engage people sharing your contest with other engaged people. And that obviously is the viral effect that your UpViral campaigns can have.
Bingo.
And yeah, it'll help you build this perfect email list. And you can use this email list to build profitable lists for your Facebook ads. So we talked about lookalike audiences in previous shows before, and Facebook just uses a lot of these data points, and they can create audiences that look similar to your seed audiences, so you can find more customers for your business using Facebook ads. So again, if you don't know what lookalike audiences is, for example, if you have a list of 300 purchasers within your business already, you can upload that list into Facebook, and Facebook will create a similar audience that looks just like that. So when you do run Facebook ads, you'll have more chances of more purchasers running campaigns to that list. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, better messaging equals better results. And if you understand what your customers' problems are to the core, that'll help you craft your message a lot better within your campaigns for UpViral as well as your Facebook advertising campaigns. All good so far?
Yes.
Cool.
And something I would love to add there is that this is also going to help you pick your offer, your prizes, the incentives that you're going to give to people. Because once you understand what they want, the decision of what to offer them to pick for a prize becomes a lot more obvious.
That's correct. And having a great offer is also very important.
It's key.
A lot of people think they have a great offer and they start marketing and like, hey, I'm not getting any sales. Why am I not getting any sales? It's might have something to do with your offer. Maybe they don't like your offer. And that's something you're going to have to work on too and realize as well. So some common issues that businesses make is that they have this anyone interested mentality, meaning that many businesses say that they target anyone interested in their services or products. And some say that they target, small business owners, homeowners, or stay-at-home moms. All of these audiences are just too general and too broad, and it's best to niche it down. And I'm assuming that a lot of you guys in here who are watching the show, are entrepreneurs or small business owners, and you're on a specific niche, or maybe you're not in a specific niche. And maybe it's best to niche down your business and focus on a certain demographic within your industry, not just broadly. Again, your messaging might be too broad. All of the copy on your website, your landing pages, your UpViral campaigns are just way too broad. Messaging is undefined for who you're actually looking for. Just going back to the example that Mitch gave about one of his clients and the cup, it's just, you have to speak to your customers. You have to understand their lingo and their language they speak. So
very
again,
true.
Niche it up and you'll see a lot better results. And also, a lot of people make too many assumptions about their buyers. again, people think that they have the best offer, but you obviously don't know that until you start promoting it. And, if it starts converting, then yeah, you have a great offer. But if it doesn't, you're going to have to change something about it. So
let me
key takeaway here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's all right.
I was just going to say the key.
I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let me, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you another example. There's a gentleman by the name of Bradley who is often in the UpViral group. And he and I become good friends. And he's told me I can tell you the stories. I'm not just stealing it from it. But he also runs an agency, much like we do. And he was running an UpViral campaign for a client that was in the survival niche. People who are right now just absolutely having a blast because of the pandemic and everybody's panicking. And, these are the people that have stocked up 6 years worth of stuff in their basement. Or I have another friend that bought some containers, the shipping containers. And he dug a hole in the ground and he buried his shipping container and he put furniture in it, all of his food. So he's ready for the bomb to drop. Anyway,
right.
So Bradley was doing this campaign and they thought they had the perfect offer. They were going to put out camping chairs and a camping stove. And it kind of did okay. And so the key to that was, and so many people do this in UpViral and in their own business, especially if you're starting out, you think you've got the perfect offer. You've made the assumption that this is going to just absolutely rock this group of people. Mm-hmm. And they found out that wasn't the best thing. So they tried several different products. The key here, and Danny will attest to this, you don't get the perfect Facebook ad the first time. You don't get anything right the first time. What they ended up doing, Bradley and the crew, what they ended up figuring out was a $97 halogen flashlight. Just absolutely lit up the audience.
There you go.
And it wasn't a $10,000 offer. It wasn't a, $200. It's a $97 halogen flashlight. And they are cranking out leads left and right in that niche. So the key to it, which Danny just said, that you don't make your messaging too broad. Don't make so many assumptions. Talk to your people and find out what words they use. For example, like the coffee mugs. Find out their languaging, and Danny's mentioned that before, and ask them. I mean, this is so common. People come to me and say, well, Mitch, I'm an artist, and what's the best prize that I should offer? Like, well, first of all, have you done the avatar kind of work? And they don't typically go, no, that's boring, and I already know who my people are. But then I say, well, okay, I'm not the guy with the answer. The people that have the answer are your clients. Go ask them what would really light their fire for a prize. And you'll be surprised at what you'll find out. We think we know the right answer, but they are the ones that have the answer. Yep.
Your customers are always right.
Absolutely.
Your potential customers are always right.
Don't assume anything.
Exactly.
There's so much value in that slide. It's so freaking true. And we all think we know. We all think we know, which is the other thing that I often talk about when I do a campaign review. Take off your glasses, like the client that I was just talking about with the coffee mugs. Take off your view. Take your glasses off. Take off your hat that says, I know what the hell I'm doing, and look at your campaign, your marketing, your UpViral campaign, as if you have no clue what the offer is. Because that's what everybody else is seeing. And it goes back to the assumptions you just said. Take your I know stuff hat off and look at your campaign with the eyes of somebody who has no idea what the offer is and see if they understand it.
Yep, definitely. And, I think a lot of mistakes that small business owners make, or people who are just getting into marketing or like want to promote their product, they just, they think that like UpViral is the answer, or like all these tools are like the answer. But in reality, marketing is all about split testing, right? You're not going to hit home runs the first time.
Yes.
You might not hit home runs the second time. You might not hit home runs the third time. But marketers are resilient humans, and you're going to have to test a lot in order to be successful, whether it's promoting your UpViral campaigns or even advertising on Facebook. You're not going to hit home runs the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The baseball analogy is perfect. Like, go look at Babe Ruth. His average was like 297 or 300. So 1 out of every 3 times he came to bat, he got a hit, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's good. That's awesome for a baseball player.
All right. So moving forward. So what's a buyer persona? A buyer persona is a research-based profile that depicts your target customer. Buyer personas describe your ideal customers, who your ideal customers are, what their days are like, the challenges they face, and how they make decisions. This is breaking down pretty exactly what it is. Like you want to know, what their days are like, what challenges they face, how can your product benefit them, where they like to eat, what books do they like to read, what movies do they like to watch, and so forth. So you have to get really detailed into who your target customer is, and find out these little things.
Yep.
In order to craft your marketing message correctly. So when choosing a product or service, people naturally gravitate toward businesses they know and trust. And the best way to build trust is to show genuine understanding and concern for the other person. In this case, your customers. And again, it goes back to developing a common language between your customers. People gravitate towards businesses that they obviously, they know and trust.
Right.
And that's why they continue to do business with these specific brands and companies. Do you have anything else to add to this, Mitch?
Does the moon rise every day? Of course it does. But this is so dead on in terms of marketing message. One of the big mistakes, and I just saw it somebody asked me for a campaign review, and I just took a quick glance, and one of the very first things was the top text at the top of the page was about the company. We want blah, 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 blah. We are going to offer you this, this, and this in this contest. And there was nothing about the client, the customer, the potential person. And the key to that would be, if you, like I was talking about before, think about what somebody coming to the page is going to think. They're going to go, this is all about you. I'm gone, right? I'm out.
Right.
And when you have these thoughts that Danny's talking about, when you understand the words that they use, the people that are your perfect audience are going to feel an emotional attachment to you. Like, oh, Danny's been through this before. He totally gets me.
Exactly.
I'm going to buy his stuff. Right? If you can't get that kind of attachment, I mean, even, go back and look at major companies like Coke, and, there's this battle between Coke and Pepsi, and every Christmas the bears come out for Coke, right? Yep. They're cute. They're fuzzy. They're getting people to know, like, and trust Coke because they're like, oh God, that is so cute. They're building an emotional attachment. I want to go drink a Coke because that bear's drinking. I'm like, how stupid is that? Bears don't drink Coke, but it works, right? It's because they're building the emotional attachment. They are doing exactly what this says. You got to build that trust. And if you can nail that feeling of, Danny knows exactly what I feel, and I think I can trust him, then you got the game won.
Exactly. It's like, Mitch, you're speaking my language. I'm going to give you my money. I'm going to buy whatever you're offering.
Exactly. Yeah.
You actually care about me, and I would love to do someone who cares about me and is willing to solve my problems.
I mean, I'm sorry, Danny.
It's okay.
I can feel so many people when I talk about this topic, and this is it warms my heart to talk about this. So many people come in and go, well, I just want to build a contest because I know the contest people are going to get excited because I'm offering an iPhone or I'm offering an Amazon gift card. And there's this massive detachment between what you are trying to do, trying to emotionally build a relationship with somebody, and this contest, because it has nothing to do with what your particular niche is. So going back to what Danny's already said, niche it down, figure out who your people are, talk to them, and then start using words that will attract those people.
Yep,
now,
exactly.
The guy that does the coffee mug thing has a great phrase at the top, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, enjoy your morning. This is going to warm you up with your new cup of coffee. And look how cute these mugs are, kind of sort of worked in there. I'm like, that's the kind of emotional attachment we're after. That's cool because you're building a feeling when people look at your mug. Now, then he throws in, well, get a 3D thing. And I'm like, oh, now you just blew it. But it's a process, right, Danny? We're talking about a process. And the reason we're talking about this with UpViral is because this is the hinge on whether your campaign's going to be successful or not. So many people come to me and they go, well, my campaign failed. Like the one I was talking about a minute ago. It's all about we, our company, this, we're going to give you that. Nothing about the emotional attachment to what the problem they're trying to solve is. And if you're not doing the right marketing, your campaign there's nothing UpViral can do. The magic that it can do on the back end is not going to help you one iota if you can't get the people emotionally attached on the front end. So this is highly important to what we're doing here. I can just see some people going, what's an avatar got to do with building an UpViral contest? It's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. And as a previous agency owner, and like Mitch, you're an agency owner as well. I mean, this is probably like the first step you take if you get new clients. Like, hey, fill this form out. Like, tell me who your perfect customer is and like how we should speak to them and so forth. So I think that's very important.
And it is important. And I have a survey when people try to connect with me, and I send them a survey and I say, who is your target market and what do they like? And those kind of questions you just talked about. And I can't tell you how many people come back and go, I don't know. I go, okay, I'm sorry. I don't want you as a client because you haven't done this work yet. Or I can teach you how to do it. But you got to understand that you got a whole lot of learning to do before you get to, I'm going to make some big sales and I'm going to make a big contest. Yep,
exactly. And just go back to like the CBD brands. Some of the old customers, like, man, they have cool packaging, cool labels, and cool website, but hey, the brand doesn't really speak to anyone. And it was so hard to promote that brand just because they're not catering towards a specific niche or a demographic. And they're obviously, since they have such a cool brand and cool website, it doesn't mean they're going to convert. Right. And it doesn't mean their products are going to sell.
Right. And often what I see is, like in the CBD stuff, is that people don't talk enough about the pain points, right?
Yeah.
What they talk about is, oh, we got the best CBD oil on the planet, and it's going to do, What about talking about, hey, have you got knee joint pain? Have you got arthritis in your back? Have you, all of these pain points, I mean, literally pain.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about that. They just say, buy my stuff. It's great. It's going to fix your problems. But they don't talk about the problems.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving forward. So let's go through the 3 different phases of crafting your buyer persona. So phase number 1 is do your audience research. Researching your audience will help you create a realistic persona and possibly find interesting details about your customers that you didn't know before. And we'll go explain that in the next slide.
I don't know if there's. What are you using to present this?
This is I made this on Canva.
Oh, okay. Because I like the words that says, "Who are your best customers and repeat purchasers?" That's like coming through, sadly, very blocky, pixelated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Next time we need to figure out a different way of doing this.
Okay, I could switch it to the slides on Webinar Jam, if you like.
It might be better because, at least on my side,
no problem.
I'm on a 27-inch iMac and I can kind of sort of read those.
Let's do that.
But
oh no, hang on.
That's all right. The infinity mirror view.
So that's why we have a backup here. So let me get things.
In-N-Out burgers.
Slide.
I just noticed your T-shirt.
Have you tried In-N-Out before?
Oh, I love In-N-Out.
Yes.
We don't have In-N-Out here in St. Louis. We don't have that.
What do you have?
We have
Five Guys?
No, we don't have that. We have a pizza place called Five Guys, but that's totally different.
Can you guys see this now?
Well, go to the next slide.
Is it better? Is it better now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I just wanted to make sure we could see this stuff.
But yeah, obviously, the first step is to do research on your audience, and it'll help you create a realistic persona and find interesting details about your customer that you didn't know before. So in order to do so, it's look at your current customer base. So who are your best customers and your repeat purchasers so far, if you have customers already? Are there any similarities between them? Find commonalities within your existing audience. Sorry, it's late here.
Yeah, it's all right.
Again, Mitch says, talk to your existing customers. Schedule calls or email conversations with your customers, and surveys work great as well. And
it is. I'm sorry, Danny. I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But I mean I can't tell you how many times I have talked to people that are struggling with their contests, marketing as part of the contest, and I said, "Well, have you talked to the people?" Nobody's entering. Why aren't they entering? And I know it's difficult to find people that, it's one of the things I would love to be able to do is to capture more people who leave, right, who don't enter the contest, talk to them. But even the people that do enter, send them a survey.
Yeah.
Ask them what worked and what didn't work in the contest. They will love to give you feedback, especially if you dangle a little carrot in front of them that says, well, if you answer the survey, I'll give you XYZ as a prize or, something. Yeah. That's why you have to have a list of all your assets so you know what to give them. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you have like 10 to 15 customers already or at all, you could just email those 10 to 15 customers and ask them why they purchased from you, why they did business with you. And just email them. Just write a simple email with a few questions, and that could help you tremendously moving forward.
Absolutely.
Another
tiny tip. I write the people that are spamming my campaigns to find out why they're doing that. I had one guy, side note, that manually entered 600 legal valid emails so that he could try to win a camera.
Oh, wow.
And I asked him, I'm like, why are you doing that? And he says, well, I'm a poor college student and I need to win this camera so that I can sell it or whatever. And I said, but you're cheating. He's like, well, actually, yeah, I know. I just got kicked out of college because I was cheating on a test and I got caught. So anyway, it creates fun stories too for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's very important. That's why you have to niche down and craft a message so you can find better people than that to sign up for your contest.
Exactly.
But yeah, obviously, again, like Mitch said, talk to your bad customers as well and ask them why they did that, or people who aren't happy with your product or service. and hopefully you can turn them from a bad customer back into a good customer again. So
yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times somebody has sent me a nasty email going, Mitch, you suck, blah, 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 blah. And I write them back and they're like, oh, I didn't know a real person was actually going to read that. Like, yeah. And I want to know more. What could I do better to keep you or to help you or whatever? And they often turn into fantastic customers.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that there's a real person behind it.
Yeah.
And real person crafting these messages for your campaigns as well as your ads. Yeah.
And they recognize that you're a human and you make mistakes too. That always likes to light them up. They're like, oh, you mean you're just like me and you make mistakes? Holy cow.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So phase 2 is narrow down these common details. So once you've completed your research, narrow down your results by finding the most common answers you receive from customers as well as subscribers. So the key part here is to filter out your research, read through your research to determine the most important details that affect how you communicate with your audience. And some information you should determine in this step is like demographics, how old they are, what they do, are they married or not, where they live, and so forth. Some behaviors like skill level, interest in your product offering, how they use your product or service, what they read, what they watch, what movies they like, what books they like to read, and so forth. So it gets, pretty detailed, but the more detailed, the better.
Oh, come on, Danny. Why would I do that? Really? Books and movies. What is boring. That really going to do for me?
Exactly. But yeah, it makes everything easier. Yeah, it makes everything easier. It makes Facebook advertising easier. Obviously, if you've advertised on Facebook before, it's a lot of interest targeting. So if you know what books they like to read, you could if they like Think and Grow Rich, you could choose that as an interest. If they like, traffic secrets, like I know you have in the back as well. If they like Russell Brunson, you could use that as an interest and, target these specific people.
Yep.
And number 3, challenges and interests. What are their challenges and what are they interested in? And obviously you can do this by creating surveys, phone calls, and emailing them. Email preferences. This is kind of very specific, but how often do they want to receive emails and when they open their emails and so forth. So if you have an email list already, I'm sure your email provider can tell you these specific things. And the way you could gather this information is from your customer database if you have one already. Social media analytics, especially Facebook Audience Insights. If you run ads already, obviously install the pixel, and there's a lot of information on demographics and your audience within the ads manager, as well as Google Analytics. If you have a website, you should have this installed from day one.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
I know you love the Facebook pixel, so
yeah. Anything you want to add here, Mitch?
I did that one already. Yes.
Okay.
But the other side of this, and I see Danny's an advertising Facebook pixel guy. He knows his stuff when it comes to advertising. This will also help you on the UpViral side in crafting what your offer is going to be. I said this before, but one of the things that after you do this, and I firmly believe that you need to do this and do it multiple times, I encourage people to go back and look at this once a quarter, because it will keep your eyes focusing on them as opposed to you. But the other thing that I ask people to do when they're doing this is to, like the books and the movies and stuff, if you focus on those kind of things, what you can do is create a list of all the things that you have as assets to be able to craft an offer inside of UpViral. And what you're doing is you're looking at stuff that is outside of just you. and I say, look at your list of assets. I have a long list of training videos that I've done, Facebook Lives, worksheets and stuff that I've created. But also on my list are things that other people do, things that you could buy on Amazon, for example. I'm getting ready to run a challenge, and I actually saw an ad the other day for this cool thing. I think it's kind of cool. It's like a, you know what ping pong is, right, Danny?
Yeah,
table tennis. It's a little net that you can put on any table, like on the planet.
Okay.
And it comes with 2 paddles. And I'm like, you know, for something that would just be an off-the-wall fun thing to have as a bonus prize for something, that would be really cool. And so I'm always thinking about, and that's not specifically crafted towards my audience, right? I am building my campaign and giving them things that are specifically for them, but it doesn't hurt to periodically throw in something that's just freaking fun, that's different. Yeah. It's not the main offer, but if I'm not thinking about what would be fun for my audience potentially to be engaged in, then I'm completely missing the boat. Because if I had listed that, like on the behaviors, as people like to have fun and play games, then bingo, I'd have the perfect thing to fit into my niche, into my avatar, and I would be going, God, this is cool. As opposed to going, what can I offer to give them so exciting in my giveaway? I'm struggling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got it. I mean, I do this with my clients and then think I'm crazy. Because I'm like, look, one of the things that you have to do after our initial meeting is to spend an hour, and I firmly believe at least an hour is a good time to do this. Turn off all the distractions, get a piece of paper in front of you, and just start writing your avatar. You can do it with the worksheet that Danny has, and a list of things that you could just give away as prizes, and make it be things that are not yours. You know, people ask all the time, well, I don't have anything. I'm just starting my business. How do I, create a contest? Look, there's Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great place. There are affiliate offers out the wazoo that you could go buy that are in your niche.
Yep.
It's building your list. It doesn't have to be all about you.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't know this stuff, you can't figure out what they would be potentially interested in. That's why I get so excited about this. And I ramble and talk. So go ahead, Dan.
All good. No worries. So phase 3 is to create your customer avatar. So a customer avatar is a detailed profile of your ideal customer. It doesn't make assumptions or categorize people into groups. The avatar focuses on one person and outlines everything about them. It's crucial that you create a customer avatar of your ideal customer, not your average buyer. Your ideal customer is someone you really want to sell to. They're high spending, loyal, repeat buying, and more importantly, referral monsters.
Wow. There's the key for UpViral, isn't it?
Exactly. So obviously you want to find that person who is interested in your UpViral campaigns, who are most likely to share your campaigns with enthusiasm, with their enthusiastic friends and so forth. So you get more engaged lists, a lot more benefits that come out from this as well.
If I could give another example.
Yeah.
One of my members recently did a contest, and they were asking for referrals, and I'm not going to drive into all of the details about what he did. The key thing here is that he knows his avatar, and what he did was offered an incentive that cost him about $40 to go out on Fiverr and create for this audience And I often talk about numbers. Last week, and I talked about in the reports about a number that's not physically there, but you can figure it out really easily. And that's the ratio of referrals, because you were just talking about referral monsters. But the ratio of referrals to direct leads. And in AJ's campaign, for every person he brought in on the front end, he brought 3.3 people as referrals because of that one incentive, because he knew his people were going to lust after getting that. And they had to refer to other people in order to get it. It's absolutely key that you understand who your audience is. Now, not everybody can get 3.3. I can tell you, I struggle to get even 1-to-1 ratio.
Right.
In most campaigns, it's hard to get people to refer others. But when things align and when you figure out what the right offer was, and it cost him $50 to come up with this because it's digital, things can go magic. So again, this is key stuff. You guys think I'm just making this stuff up, but it's true. I got examples to back it up.
Yeah, you can see how enthusiastic and excited Mitch is about talking about this. So
yes,
this is obviously really important, and that's why we're breaking this down into multiple parts. So moving forward, obviously you want to find out what they're interested in, their goals and values, what they believe in. Obviously make it relevant to your services and products that you offer, their challenges and their pain points. What issues might they be facing? How can your product or service help them alleviate these issues? So it's not about you, it's about your customer, and your customers are always right. So this is the worksheet, obviously, and basically just we're gonna obviously give this away towards the end of the webinar, but you want to figure out their goals and values. You give them a name, whatever their name might be, just make one up. Gender, marital status, number of children, location, all these little things that you want, books, magazines. It might seem annoying. It might seem, like it's stressful to fill this out or something. But again, it's really important to understand who your customer avatar, who your perfect customer is. So you can craft that message and start pumping out leads and, getting results on your ad campaigns.
Yep, absolutely.
So I filled one out here. The next slide, it is a customer avatar for UpViral, for our service, for the software. And this is just one customer avatar. Obviously, UpViral is, can benefit a lot of different people, small business owners, agency owners, entrepreneurs, etc. So you can have multiple customer avatars, but it's important that you understand each of your customers, and we'll just break this one down. So I gave her a name of Agency Annie.
Why?
She's
time out. I'm time out.
Okay.
Why on God's green earth would you give her a name?
Why not? You want to call her something. You want to craft this message towards Agency Annie. I want to write ads specifically for Agency Annie, and hopefully she reads it and it makes sense to her. She signs up for UpViral. That's why I gave her.
It makes it personal, right? It absolutely
makes it personal. Yeah.
And it's much easier for us if we're doing our marketing, if we're thinking about a specific person. I use my avatar, her name's Betty Lou, all the time, and people laugh at me, Betty Lou. but this, Betty Lou is, I've got all this stuff defined for her. And it puts a face. Yeah. And I love that you got a photo of her in here. And it just makes it more real. So do it. You guys do this.
Exactly. Whatever your business in, write customer, write, make someone up for your business, who your perfect customer is, and start, after you have this perfect customer, you can start writing your copywriting, your headlines, your ad text, your blog posts specifically for this person. And it'll make it a lot more personal and relatable for whatever your niche is. So Again, her name is Agency Annie, and she's married. She has 2 kids. She lives in San Diego, California. She likes In-N-Out as well.
Nice.
She is an agency owner. Obviously, she is the CEO founder of her own agency. She's an entrepreneur with an annual income of $100,000 per year. She's a college graduate, and her goals and values is to increase her agency business. She wants to increase her annual income to, let's say, $150,000 a year. She wants to increase the amount of leads for her business and provide results for her clients. Her values are committed to career development, providing value results for her clients, and inexpensive marketing strategies. The books she likes to read are Think and Grow Rich, Blue Ocean Strategy, some magazines are Fast Company and Wired magazines. She might be into technology. She's a digital marketer. She likes Morning Marketing Brew newsletter. And the conferences she goes to are AdWorld and Traffic and Conversions. Now her challenges and pain points are...
Time out.
Yeah,
sorry, Danny.
It's okay.
One of the reasons why you want to do that section, sources of information, is that we struggle to figure out where Annie is. Where does Annie hang out? Right?
Yep.
That box can help you in many ways figure that out, because not only in the advertising side, because Danny would say, oh, let's specifically target Fast Company magazine, right? Or Wired magazine.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. But the other thing is we have to go find Annie out there in the world, and maybe she's an Instagram person, right?
Yep.
Maybe she's a Facebook person. I know, Danny, there are other places on the world than just Facebook, but
yep.
if you're not figuring these things out, you're never going to figure out where to go talk to Annie and to get her to sign up for your contest. I liked it. Larry said your ideal avatar is really a person that you're writing to. And the other thing that I like, if I may, Richard said something is missing. Describe your avatar's average day. And so
that's a good one. Yeah.
If you write a story, which is the other thing that I was going to add to the tail end of this, is if you write a story about her, including like the average day, what does she do in the average day? There's the other spot that you're going to start thinking about. Well, she hangs out on Facebook for 20 minutes a day, or Instagram, or maybe she's on TikTok or whatever. Yeah. Putting the face to it and figuring out where she is going to help you so much. All right.
Exactly. But yeah, there's a good question from Deborah. She said, so you would use that info to target people who follow Fast Company magazine, right? Yes, but you can also target, hey, I want to target female only, ages 30 to 40, who lives in the United States, who likes Fast Company. And that can narrow down your audience and find more people like Annie within Facebook ads if you plan on running Facebook ads. So all of these little things can break it down to help you find your core audiences when advertising on Facebook ads.
Right. Let's. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry. Like the blogs and websites, right? Digital Marketer, Marketing Brew. Maybe also think about, maybe Annie is following a specific influencer. Like maybe she's taken a course in digital marketing from Ryan Deiss. Well, Ryan Deiss, isn't that who Digital Marketer is? Do I have it right?
Yeah, that is. I think so.
But that guy is targetable also on Facebook. So
exactly.
Think about those things, and finding who's targetable and who's not can be a pain sometimes. But if you think about all these things, the back end marketing is going to become so much easier.
Yep, exactly. You could layer a lot of interest within Facebook Ads Manager as well.
Right.
But yeah, moving forward,
there's a tool called Connectio,
Connect Explorer
that might help you there. Anyway.
But yeah, anyways, figure out the challenges. Her challenges are scaling her business or agency business. She's struggling to get her client leads and keeping up with marketing tactics. Some pain points. She fears losing clients, which will hurt her annual income.
Yeah.
And she's fear of leaving her agency behind because she can't keep up with, she can't find leads for her clients. So is UpViral referral marketing a service she can offer to her clients? And what's Annie's role in this process? Obviously, Annie is the decision maker, and she wants to offer new, I can't read that, and exciting opportunities and sources for leads for her clients. So yeah, obviously you could break it down a little bit more further than this. But yeah, it's like basically like a big brainstorming sesh that you're going to have to do about who your customer avatar is and what your perfect audience is.
Yeah. And Steve added that age seems pretty important. Shouldn't that be near the top?
Yeah, that's something I forgot to do. But yeah, feel free to add age if you like. And yeah, I think I'm missing some other things too that was mentioned earlier. But yeah, just feel free to add it. If you think of something, then yeah, feel free to add it on your notebook or anywhere on this worksheet. But yeah, that's basically it. I just did one example. Obviously, there are, we can create multiple custom avatars for our company, UpViral. Obviously, we could target, one for entrepreneur, someone who just started a business and doesn't have money to spend on Facebook ads, or whatever the case may be. Create different customer avatars for different segments of your industry.
Right. I think you mentioned that on the next page. Multiple avatars.
I do. Yeah, here we go. So basically, to a summary of all the phases. First one is obviously do your research. If you have existing customer base, just talk to your customers. Narrow down common details. Use Google Analytics. If you don't have Google Analytics installed already, please do so. If you started running Facebook ads and you have a lot of data from your Facebook ads, use the audience insight tools to see commonalities within your audience, and then start creating your customer avatars. Just spend, an hour or two to create multiple avatars. And obviously, again, your business most certainly has more than one ideal buyer. So create multiple avatars for your business.
This building a business is hard work, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you got to learn.
Yeah, but you're going to start with the basics, right?
Yes. I mean, you just mentioned Google Analytics. Is that part of the next show?
It is not. I am not a Google Analytics expert.
Nor am I.
But if you are, but I'm sure there's a lot of resources on YouTube that people can follow on how to install the GA code correctly and read the data as well.
It's the reading the data that's the hard part.
Yeah.
It might be an actual episode for an entire show, because I use a tool, and we don't need to get into the side topic of tools, but I have a visual tool that I found that is so much easier to see than looking at Google Analytics. Because Google Analytics is just, if you don't understand it, you're just going to go, I'm out.
Anyway, it's complicated, but it can get into really detailed, like really nitty gritty details. Location, gender, age, what phone they're using, what browser they're using, what city they're in, and so forth. So
it goes really way cool. Deep.
But yeah, gearing up for the next show. I think it'll be in 2 weeks, where we'll use what we learned today and implement it into Facebook ads, and how you can start structuring campaigns and finding specific audiences and customers for specific niches, and breaking down interest targeting and demographic targeting. So That's a whole nother show. Obviously, I broke it down in 2 parts because, it's already it's an hour already, and we only have an hour or so, or an hour and a half. But yeah, just in time. Any questions?
So
feel free to ask in the chat.
Dive in with questions. Absolutely. I've saved
downloadable.
I've saved a couple. Oh, yeah, the file.
All right, I made it downloadable. It should be sharing right now.
Good for you. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm going to go backwards. Let's see. Steve asked, is it possible to target members of other pages or Facebook groups? My product is an addition that people would be interested in as opposed to trying to steal people from a group. But can I target another page or another group?
You could target, I believe you could target another page, but I don't think you could target another group. Stealing group information is difficult, and I think it's unethical as well. So I've tried it, I've researched it, but you can't do that unless you use like some secret hacker tool, a third party that scrapes all the information. But I don't know any tools like that.
Yeah. Would you come out of presentation mode so we can see your pretty face?
How do I do that?
You would turn off screen sharing. It's
no.
And on my screen, it's the third.
Oh, it's on the slides. Stop.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
All right. Steve said, let's see. The customer hero model is based on a black and white world that social media creates. If an avatar is designed by engagement more than anything else, are focus groups and A/B testing the key? That's a tough question, Steve. If an avatar is defined by engagement more than anything else, are focus groups and A/B testing the key?
Do you want to take that one, Mitch?
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question. I'm not sure I know the answer to that one, Steve. I mean, it is the customer avatar is not a black and white answer, right? I mean, Danny created Agency Annie, but he still doesn't totally have proof that that's his perfect avatar. So yes, he will be doing A/B testing, and he will create multiple ones of them. Definitely. As he goes. And like I said, I like to try to go back. I don't know when it's accomplished this, but like once a quarter or once every 6 months, go back and look at them, because if you're not focusing and understanding who your avatar is, we said all that. But going back to it is key. Katerina did want to, I know she got an answer to this, but since this was much earlier, how do we upload an email list of purchasers to Facebook? And she was talking about a lookalike audience. How do you do that?
Sure. You want to go into your business manager, and then you want to go into this events manager tab. Once you're inside events manager, you can create audience, and you have 2 options. You can create custom audience as well as lookalike audience. So in order to create a lookalike audience first, you have to create a custom audience. So click on custom audience, and there's an option for you to upload your list and upload a CSV file. And once you upload that list, you can click on that list, click on that audience that you just created, and then click on create lookalike audience. And then you can create a lookalike audience from that specific list.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Larry did say, as your avatar changes, I can't read. Your avatar changes just as you would change in life. So yes, my business has changed since 2 years ago. So keep doing that. Yep. Steve said, great show. I learned a lot today. We're not quite done answering questions, but let's see. apparently, Danny, people are only seeing the one slide in the download. Are there? I know you were gonna. You have one.
I put both the worksheet as well as the presentation. It's both. It says sharing right now, so
okay.
Both are sharing.
So the avatar worksheet is just the one.
Just the one page, but the presentation has the worksheet in it as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So Chidamama, apologize for butchering the name. This is somebody's name. Chidimma. I apologize. I'm bad at names. How do I start from here? Because I've yet to start. Great question. Tough question. Go back and watch every Copilot show since day one. If you're just starting a business, you've got to do really, I think, 2 or 3 things. One, define your avatar, define your product, what you're going to be offering the avatar, and start making sales. Now, the email list is critical in that process. If you're not building an email list, I saw a friend of mine just the other day who lost her Facebook account because Facebook said, you are doing a no-no. Doesn't have an email list. She's lost her entire audience because Facebook said, you messed up. Don't be like her. You want to be able to have an email list because nobody can take that away from you. They opted in to talk to you. They can leave, right, but Facebook can't take it away. Google can't take it away. My story, I learned this the hard way back in 2013-ish because I had an Amazon affiliate account. And I had $5,000 in my Amazon affiliate account, and they said, you did something wrong, and we're closing your account. And I'm like, woof, woof. That's $5,000 you were going to pay me first and then turn it off. But they don't. The thing that drives me crazy is they don't tell you what you did wrong, right? I mean, even in the UpViral group, I'm not going to come up with her name. I can picture her. Woods. Woods is her last name. She had her Facebook ad account shut down, and she was like, "Now what do I do? What do I do?"
Welcome to the club.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
But that's why you build your email list, because you can still connect with those people.
Yeah.
Are the replays available?
Your email list is an asset, and it's a valuable asset that you should always keep talking to and keep engaging with.
It's not just an asset, Danny. In my book, it is the asset.
That's the asset, yeah.
The asset. Besides me, I mean yourself in the business, it is the asset that you have.
Exactly.
So. Are replays available? Slane, interesting name. Thank you. Yes, the replays are always available. They are in the UpViral group. If you own UpViral, they are in your learning center. And if you want to follow UpViral on YouTube, they are there. So you got 3 places to come find us. Now, what we got to do is, as Mark and I have been talking about, is upload it. We got to find a really good place to put the assets, and we got to get more people in here because this is gold. Right? I know you guys are all saying it because this has been a valuable show. I mean, there is a lot, and I want so many people to see this. So, hey, here's an UpViral thing. Go recommend this show to somebody else.
Exactly.
We should have
we should have an UpViral campaign to.
Well, that's a whole nother topic. And by the way, notice that we didn't make you sign up to anything to get the download, right? The default process is, hey, sign up for this to get your download.
Yep.
We probably should be doing that as well. Linda Lamont.
I spent a lot of time on this, so obviously, take action and spend 2 hours to do the work and build out your customer avatar. It's definitely worth it.
I love this, Danny. There are two Lindas here, one with a Y and one with an I. I know Linda Lamont with an I. They both said right next to each other. Linda, number one, said this is gold, capital IS. Linda, number two, said these sessions are real gold, thanks to both of you. So, I mean, right there, back to back. This is gold stuff. And that's why, again, we're not trying to sell you anything other than if you don't have UpViral, there is a $1 14-day trial, which you can go try. But this is for you. We want you to have a better business, like Danny said just a minute ago. Go out and execute. Don't just go, hey, that was a great show. Fill out that freaking avatar if you haven't done something like that yet. Take the hour that I was talking about. Do it. Please.
So, yeah, should we answer some more questions before...
If there are any.
It gets too long?
Yes.
Yeah, Bill has a good question. I'm a coach and consultant to real estate brokerage owners. I tested a contest offering access to free content through my app and 3 grand prizes of 30 days of unlimited coaching. Didn't go well. Facebook is making it difficult to target within the real estate niche. Many ads are rejected. Ideas?
Here's yes. Well, go ahead. No. You go ahead because I am going to rally on this one. Go ahead.
No, you go for it. You go for it.
All right. Number one thing, and I'm going to be mean, Bill. I get asked this question many times. I offered 30 days of unlimited coaching, Bill says. Bill, so there's Traffic Secrets book, right, that Danny mentioned a few minutes ago.
Yep, I got mine right here.
The guy's name is, everybody knows, right? Everybody knows who wrote that book. Okay, not everybody, but a large number of people know who wrote that book. Bill, have you got a book that's as popular as that? Are you Tony Robbins? Everybody knows Tony Robbins, right? If you're offering coaching as a prize and you're Tony Robbins, everybody's going to freaking jump on it. Sorry, Bill. I don't know what your last name is, Bill, but I'd be willing to bet nobody wants coaching. Nobody goes into Google and says, I need a business coach. I can virtually guarantee, I don't know what niche you're in or anything else, nobody wants coaching. That's not what they want. They want a solution to their problem. If you could offer, let's say you're a business coach and maybe you focus on procrastination. I have a couple of friends that focus on that. Offer the solution to procrastination. I have a 30-day course that I can walk you through, blah, 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 how to do that. People are much more interested. His last name is Gates. Bill Gates would obviously have a pretty good contest. Funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I rally on this one because a lot of people come to me as coaches and like nobody wants coaching. They want the solution to their problem. Okay, Bill says, I didn't message coaching. I offered a specific solution. The issue is on targeting on Facebook. That's you.
Well, what were you trying? What kind of specific targeting were you trying on Facebook? Obviously, let me know. But obviously, there's a lot of interest related to real estate.
Right.
There's a lot of top brokerages that are potentially interest for targeting. There are a lot of people in real estate that are celebrities they could potentially target as well, such as like Ryan Serhant or like $1 Million Listing, TV shows like that.
The second
I'm sure you can break it down a lot further. And I'm sure you haven't tried every option on Facebook. But yeah, as a real estate agent, you might have list of other real estate agents. You could enter that list into Facebook and create lookalike audiences as well and target those people and have Facebook do the heavy lifting for you. So yeah, those are all potential options.
I apologize. I get excited about this stuff too. There are 2 points to this, however. If you are using UpViral, and Danny and I talked about this before, there are direct people that come in to your campaign. The direct people are who you are doing your Facebook targeting your ads to. Theoretically, the reason you're using UpViral is for the referrals. And I have this thing that I always do with my hand, because my diagram that I showed usually has, leads and then has referrals. The referrals aren't targeted. There is no targeting that is going on. There are no Facebook ads that are hitting those people. That's purely based on your social messaging that's inside of UpViral. What words are you using? What images are you using to get those people into your campaign? If Betty Lou is a real estate person and she signed up to your campaign because she wants Bill's coaching or his offer, whatever it is, and she shares it on her Facebook timeline, there will be people who are interested, but the vast majority of people that Betty is showing her thing to probably aren't real estate people. So your messaging has to be really clear in that social sharing in order to get those referrals. So there's two sides of UpViral. Yes, Danny, I love you, because the front side, you can target those people.
Yep.
The back side is totally wide open, and your messaging has to be 100% of your targeting to referrals. And if that's off, why even use UpViral? If you're not focusing on that piece, then just drive a whole bunch of Facebook ads to a regular old campaign and get people to sign up. Bill says, good point. Yes, it is, because I say it all the time. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's people aren't thinking about that aspect, the referral aspect. Here, I just keep drawing these circles on the screen. If you're not thinking about that, let's do it together, Danny. Come on. All right.
Here we go.
But if you're not thinking about that side of the campaign and focusing on it, just quit using UpViral, because otherwise it's just a regular marketing campaign. I'll get off that soapbox.
Valid point. Any more questions we can answer?
Deborah, real estate agents convert leads, focus on offers. I'm not sure I'm following this conversation very well. You are not mean. All right.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of questions.
Oh, there was one other question that I needed to go, because Ollie said that was going to record the thing. I have a question maybe you can answer. I want to know if I can create incentives for having an email audience read emails. For example, if I send 5 emails out during a contest, can the reader get additional entries if they click on an email to read it? So this is not a you question. This is a me question.
Okay.
So don't panic. Because I know on one of these shows, it's like, oh man, how am I going to answer this? It's not you.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, that's a tough question.
So inside of UpViral, the basic question is, if I send out emails through my autoresponder, can people get points for reading the email? It's not a trick question, but the answer is a trick answer. No, you can't give people directly points in the email. But if you send them back to the sharing page, the place where all the buttons are in UpViral, that's the second page in the process, you can, UpViral is very unique in that it has what this thing called a one-click sign-up. You can send people directly back to the campaign, and I've done trainings on that. None of the other tools have that, which is why I love it so much. But send people back to the sharing page and say one of the buttons, and you created a thing called a custom action inside of UpViral, if you're not familiar with that. The custom action can give people points. So you would title the thing like, so you read email 5, here's where you get your points to that I told you about in the email. And I exaggerated the wording, but basically that's the idea. So yes, UpViral can do that. You can't do it directly from a single click. They would have to click get into the page and then click button to do the things to get the points. But yes, it's actually a very good trick that I have been recommending to people is to get people back to your sharing page, because hopefully they'll click on one or two of the other buttons while they're there, bring you more referrals, etc. But yes, absolutely get people from your emails to your landing page for your contest. Absolutely.
Definitely. And do you know that newsletter called Morning Brew, Mark or Mitch?
I've seen it. Yes, I'm not a subscriber.
Yeah. So it's I think it's like about to do like $20 million in revenue from a newsletter. It's a daily newsletter that just shares like all the top news information about the world and everything, technology and everything. But at the end of the email, they have these the share function. So it's you kind of implement UpViral in that sense, where if you share it to 3 friends, you unlock a different newsletter as well.
Yes.
So I think that's a really cool strategy as well.
That is a great strategy.
Yeah.
Katerina asked the question, I am in tourism, which is now at 0, specializing on Greek-speaking, frequently individual travelers to Prague, blah, blah, blah. Would it work if I target also Aegean Air, the only straight flight? Maybe Greek. This is a really complicated question about targeting.
Yeah.
That's you. Yeah. Tag, you're it.
Well, I mean, that is quite niche down and really complicated. And I think that'll be really hard to target. You can obviously target that specific airline, but I'm not sure what that audience size is. So in this case, I would just kind of go broad and do more demographic targeting, male or female, what age group, potentially, what else can we target? Like finance, like what their finances are, what their education is. Right. But obviously I would just keep it broad. If you're planning on doing this, obviously you're already in a specific niche and you already know who your specific audiences are. So just target broad demographics such as age and male or female. And I think you can do well. Just let Facebook do the work.
Yeah. Steve has a good point, and I've actually thought about this point, and I don't know how to answer it, Steve, because I'm not in charge of this medium yet. But Steve said, and that's one of the reasons why. Well, let me just read it. The replays don't have a chat down the side. This means some good reference point by other people are lost. Yes, it's absolutely true. And it's one of the reasons why I actually read the question, because we could just go, Steve, the answer is purple. And then people would go, well, what?
Yeah.
I don't know of a way to save the chat. I know in other, like in Zoom, you can save the chat, but the other side of that is that we will almost be better with a screen recording, because then the timings, because it's often important that somebody will make a comment like, here's a link that would help for that. And if it's just text, people are going to go, what was that in reference to? Where was it in the conversation? So I get it. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't have any answer for you, Steve, but I do understand the sentiment.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, that's why Mitch and I read all of the questions and read basically 90% of the questions, 99% of the questions really in the chat. And right. Obviously you can reference it from the video.
Fernanda, and we're going to wrap this up. So if you have any more questions, sneak them in. When you are starting, how do you create your first avatar? I'll hand that to you.
You want to hand that to me?
It's an avatar question.
Obviously, you're going to have to know what your product and offer is.
Right.
And from there, you could kind of like, hey, who would be interested in this offer? Who would be interested in my product? And just kind of break it down from there and kind of work backwards. Or you can start running ads to your specific product and offer and see who is interested in it or who is not interested in it. and kind of work from there, given the data you collect from Facebook ads. But obviously, whatever your product may be, I mean, who like if it's this cup, who might be interested in this bronze-looking cup that says Starbucks on it? I'm not sure. So just kind of work backwards, and I guess you kind of have to make small assumptions and then test those assumptions, and then optimize from then on.
It's kind of interesting because it's almost a chicken or the egg question, right? Which comes first?
Yeah.
Do you do the avatar first before you have the product? Well, it's kind of hard to go that direction.
You're gonna have to have the product first.
You got to have the product.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what problem you're trying to solve, then how can you have a product? So I do understand that there are some dilemmas there, and if you're just starting out, it can be a royal pain to try to figure some of these things out, because you're also trying to learn at the same time. You're trying to figure out how to run a business and everything else.
Yeah.
And frankly, I mean, I may get a little flack from the UpViral folks. I don't think list building should be your first focus when you're still trying to figure out what your product is and what your avatar is. Maybe time out and work those things out before you start trying to build a list, because if you start building a list and you get a whole bunch of people that are interested in eggs, when you want to be selling the chicken, how was that? Did I work that in really well?
Yeah.
I mean, that may work. Maybe I should use if you want to sell airplanes and you got a list of people who are interested in eggs, then, you have to work out those things about what your offer is, what problem you're solving, and who you're going to sell it to before you really start building your list.
Yeah. Or you can, if these specific people have a certain problem that they don't have a solution to it, maybe you can create a product for those specific people.
Right.
Or create a product to service around that certain problem.
Right.
And that's your business idea.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yep. I think that's it. Cool.
Cool.
I think next week it's only Mitch and Mark, or is it just a solo show from you?
I think it's probably going to be a solo show, because I think it's time to do a Q&A and a campaign review time. I have not totally worked that out with Mark about what next week's show is going to be. Sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, I know there's a plan, but
cool.
I think we're due for a review show, and like the one that I saw today would be great to do a review on, but I don't know if this guy can wait that long.
For sure.
Reviews are very popular. What?
Cool. I think the next show with me is in 2 weeks, so that'll be part 2 from this presentation. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, it's nighttime here for me. So have a great day. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much, Danny. I really appreciated it. And we will talk to all of y'all next week. Somebody will be here. Come, visit, listen. Bye.
All right. See you guys later.